Hello everybody, welcome to today's forecast video. Today we're talking about, again, the northern plains and a little bit of the central plains and the Midwest. Because right now, obviously, as you guys may know if you guys watched my previous forecast for the next couple last days, there's a low pressure system up in Canada that has been bringing significant severe weather across North Dakota, South Dakota, and even as far south as Nebraska. There has been a few tornadoes here and there across the area, and right now we are expecting this low pressure system to steadily make its way out. However, some jet stream energy will kind of stay lacking behind across the Dakotas and even further south across the Midwest, which we'll get to shortly. We're watching everything the next couple days, and there will be more severe weather likely even into next week. Looking at moisture, pretty much the same thing as it's been the past couple of days. 60 to 65 degree dew points have existed from southern Canada all the way down to Nebraska and Kansas. And this has been slowly shifting east over time towards the Midwest, ever so slowly the last couple of days. And this is because that low pressure system is slowly pulling all this moisture eastward as it continues off to the east very slowly. And behind it, there is low to mid 50 degree dew points. And this is where it's going to be a little less likely to have significant severe weather. But out here, wherever this moisture is, that is where we're going to have the highest threat for significant severe weather. And again, going into the next several hours, that moisture is going to lunge a little bit further to the west again, where we are expecting severe weather across the South Dakota, Nebraska, and maybe even Wyoming as well. And continuing on in the next few hours, this moisture is going to kind of remain around for several hours, and it's just going to be a big blob. Even the entirety of Iowa is going to have 65 plus degree dew points. And again, this can be making it very muggy, very uncomfortable. And continuing on into the next few hours, eventually this moisture gets kicked off to the east, where we are expecting more severe weather in the next several days. And there is 70 degree dew point showing up further south across southeastern Nebraska and southern central Iowa. Going into mixed layer cape or storm energy or instability, here in this morning we already see a nice blob of it ranging from around up to 2,000 joules per kilogram of cape in southwestern South Dakota. And going on in the next several hours to about 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, we do have a very long, very large cape area ranging from southwestern South Dakota all the way to the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. In that area, we are expecting some significant severe weather, very well possible, including tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. You can really see where the storms are going to fire even on here due to rapid corrosion of that unstable air, because those storms go up and they use all of that instability. And going through the next couple of days, more significant severe weather possible down south, which we'll get to here in just a bit. And going into this weekend, it does appear that instability is going to start rising back to the north. Going into future reflectivity, we already see a bunch of, definitely a lot less storms than there has been the last couple of days in the morning. Still a couple showers lingering across northwestern South Dakota. However, we are really watching anything for the afternoon and evening. So let's go ahead. Oops. Let's go ahead and progress this here. And around 6 to 7 p.m. 6 to 7 p.m. we start to see storms take off in the western Dakotas, and even some clusters out in Minnesota and eastern Dakotas. We are watching these two areas for strong to significant thunderstorms, including, yes, severe thunderstorms. You can actually see a ultrafiltricity here. This is going to be a supercell. Again, all hazards are possible with any sustained cores. We are looking at Again, the potential for an isolated tornado or two, very large hail, and damaging winds. And going into the overnight hours on Thursday and Friday of tonight and tomorrow, we do see those lingering showers and thunderstorms. They could go up from time to time, bringing some small hail and maybe a gust of wind or two, but nothing significant other than that. And then going off into Friday, we start to see more storms take off across eastern Nebraska and Iowa, where the moisture is at by that time. And eventually, the severe threat will diminish for Nebraska and the Dakotas for the first time in a few days. Going into the Storm Prediction Center, we have a level 2 slight risk here from southeastern Montana through the majority of South Dakota and southwestern Minnesota, and a marginal risk that extends all the way down through central and eastern Kansas and northwestern Oklahoma. Going into the tornado risk, two areas of potential tornado risk exist. First one is this level 2 unhatched area from the Wyoming and southeastern Montana border through southwestern South Dakota into kind of central eastern-ish South Dakota. And the other area exists from northeastern Kansas into central Iowa. This does almost include Kansas City. However, this does include Topeka, Kansas, Lincoln, and Omaha, Nebraska, and Des Moines, Iowa. And isolated tornado or two possible in both zones, watching them very carefully. Going into the wind risk, 60s, 70-mile-per-hour winds possible in this 15% area from the northeastern Wyoming into southwestern South Dakota and southwestern Minnesota. And with any supercells that can remain sustained, can produce 60, 65, maybe as high as 70-mile-per-hour winds. And 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible from northwestern Oklahoma up into Iowa. Going into hail, significant hail risk, then this is possible when any semi-discrete supercell can remain semi-discrete or completely discrete. Golf balls, tennis balls, and even a few baseballs are possible from northeastern Wyoming through southwestern South Dakota. And this does include northwest Nebraska, watching it all very closely. And up to golf ball size hail is possible from northwestern Oklahoma through central and northeastern Kansas and eastern Nebraska. Going into the day 2 risk, we have, again, another large level 2 slight risk, and this is ranging from the northern border of Kansas and southern border of Nebraska throughout the majority of Iowa. Iowa is probably going to be the main concern for tomorrow, Friday, June 5th. Now, looking at the tornado risk, we do have a level 1 or 2% unhatched risk ranging from southeastern Nebraska through majority of the southern half of Iowa. Again, any storm if that can go up and produce a mesocyclone could produce one or two weak tornadoes in that area, and a wind risk does exist. Now, this is going to be one of the more primary concerns. This is going to be in southeastern Nebraska and western Iowa. In this area, we're expecting up to 80, maybe 75 to 80 mile per hour winds with the strongest sustained storms, and 60, 65 mile per hour winds are possible anywhere else in that yellow and brown unhatched area. Going into hail risk, again, golf balls, tennis balls, and even baseballs are certainly possible in that area. Day 3 risk, 2 separate slight risk exists. An isolated tornado, damaging wind, and hail are all very well possible.